Welcome to another episode of Crypto Corner. So since 2015, Andy and I have used quite a few exchanges over the years, and some have come and gone and no longer in existence today that were even in existence 1 year ago. And others I just simply wouldn't recommend and would stay away from. There's so much competition right now in today's world, more so than there was 6 years ago. 6 years ago, there were very few exchanges, cryptocurrency exchanges anyways. Today, they are a dime a dozen. And if there's one exchange that you should avoid, I would avoid it because there are plenty of other exchanges, good quality exchanges with good customer service that can help you whenever you have issues that you can use, and they will make your experience within the cryptocurrency industry much easier and much more pleasant. So today we're going to discuss two cryptocurrency exchanges that I would not recommend, and I would recommend you avoid them if at all possible, and what you can do if you currently are using them. So let's get into it. So there are two exchanges that I have come across in the past 6 years that I have stayed away from, and I do not recommend to anyone who's new getting in the industry or anyone within the industry right now, currently. There are so many exchanges out there today, you can just pick another one. So one is a Canadian cryptocurrency exchange, and the other one is from Hong Kong. But the first one we're going to discuss today is CoinSquare from Canada. So CoinSquare is actually one of the larger Canadian cryptocurrency exchanges. There aren't a lot of Canadian cryptocurrency exchanges at all. Thank goodness there are other exchanges in the rest of the world that make it available for you to use them, whether you are Canadian or not. So you do not have to use a Canadian cryptocurrency exchange to be involved in this industry. Now, it does make it a little bit easier if you are Canadian and you're dealing with fiat currency, Canadian dollars, and you want to fund or withdraw from your bank account. They will obviously have those Canadian fiat on-ramps and off-ramps, but there are other exchanges that I have used in the past that are not Canadian, and I have had no problem depositing and withdrawing from my Canadian bank account. But with that said, why do I not recommend CoinSquare? So CoinSquare actually was hacked in May of 2020. And the hackers, they didn't hack cryptocurrency. They hacked something even more valuable than cryptocurrency. Or actually, they thought it was more valuable. It's data, right? And Andy and I have talked about data being one of the things that is probably the most valuable in the world today. It really is, and it's one of the reasons we actually use a decentralized phone as well, because we want to keep our data safe, as private as possible. It is very valuable. So what happened is that these attacks included gathering personal information from the CoinSquare customer base. They contacted the victim's phone number provider, and they used the gained data to convince the company to port the victim's phone number to the attacker's SIM card, and thus taking over all the messages and phone calls, including the one-time passwords. This is a big deal, and this is pretty scary. So not only can they get access to your one-time passwords on your phone, anything that you've got, like text messages coming to you that you verify your accounts with, these hackers now have access to it. Some of the data that they collected included your physical address as well. So this is just information you do not want out in anybody's hands, just anybody. You gave this information privately to CoinSquare, and unfortunately, they have broken that trust that you have given them to keep that data safe. So the hackers actually felt that they would make more money by the SIM swapping of the accounts. But they used the data that they had collected. And this wasn't the first time that CoinSquare was hacked. It was actually hacked back in 2018 as well. CoinSquare was hacked over a year ago. This was published April 29th, 2019. And their database was also, and they never disclosed it publicly. So some of the complaints that the Coinbase customers have shared is that they're just not happy with the transparency of the company and them letting their customers know when they have been hacked, which is a big concern. So in this Twitter post, this is really good advice. They are saying Bitcoiners should try to limit the amount of KY services they use and only use those that they trust intimately. When it comes to custodial privacy, users should choose their custodians very carefully. And your private information is valuable. Start acting like it. So I couldn't agree more with this statement. Your private information is very valuable, and data breaches are happening all over the world. That is when Facebook and these other social media platforms, and even with traditional institutions, we are finding that whenever there is a hack, it is usually a data hack, because there is so much information that they can receive from your data and gain, and they just sell it because it is so valuable. So for these reasons that CoinSquare has been hacked twice already in the past few years, and they've both been data breaches, I do not recommend using CoinSquare. And if you currently are using CoinSquare and you've verified your account already with your KYC, Know Your Customer documents, then I would get in touch with customer support at CoinSquare if you are okay not using that exchange ever again. And I would actually ask them to delete the information that you have given them and to close your account. And hopefully they will go ahead and do that. Now, the other exchange I do not recommend, actually, I recommend staying away from this one, like the plague. I've always talked about how you want to be on an exchange with great customer service. If we're talking about centralized exchanges, which these are, and where you need to verify your account because you are doing a lot of transactions, or you want higher limits, or you are doing fiat currency, Canadian USD, Euro on-ramp, off-ramp, so you're depositing and withdrawing fiat currency from these exchanges, they will want you to verify your account. And with that, you want to make sure you're with an exchange that has an amazing customer service support team. I mean, to be honest, that should be a given from day one with today's competition. If your company doesn't have great customer service, then to be frank, I'm not going to do business with you. There are plenty of other good companies with great customer service that I can go to. This is the free market. Competition is really high. So get it together. That's all I have to say. And unfortunately, HitBTC misses the mark on customer service. Not just a little, but a lot. Miles. They're really bad. I mean, for example, I have sent emails to customer service and they have simply just not replied. And I've followed up with them, and again, they do not reply. They are horrible at it. I mean, why bother? Why have a customer support team at all if you're not going to do customer support, right? The other big thing, and this is probably a bigger reason not to use HitBTC, and I've heard this in the community before from other people who have used it, and as well as the Monero community have been stating this for years, but they have been known to actually lock accounts and ask for personal information. For example, KYC, so know your documents. So your passport, your driver's license, a utility bill to verify where you live. Now, all of that is standard with a verified account. Where it comes into issue is that they do have a withdrawal limit, and it's actually quite high. It's currently, as of today, it changes all the time, 1 Bitcoin daily up to 5 Bitcoin monthly. So 1 Bitcoin daily, considering Bitcoin is as high as it is now, is a lot of money. So the withdrawal limit is quite high. It didn't always used to be that way, though. Bitcoin didn't always used to be $30,000, $40,000. It used to be $4,000, $8,000. So that was your daily withdrawal limit. And for anybody who wanted to withdraw any more than that, they would need to verify their account. And there have been instances where people have gone to withdraw more than that limit. Their account has been locked or frozen, and they've been asked to supply KYC documents. Now, that's not so bad. Where it comes into issue is that they ask you more questions to verify that you are now who you are. And a lot of these questions are really hard, even if you are the true, honest owner of your account, they're really hard to answer. So a lot of the times, the information that HitBTC has asked for, people either they can't comply with or they don't comply with. I mean, simply because they can't comply. They don't know the answers. And when the customer can't comply, HitBTC just keeps your crypto in their hands, and instead of, closing your account and sending you your funds. So any money or crypto that you have deposited into your account has now, for all intensive purposes, been seized by HitBTC, and they now consider it to be theirs. This is another reason why you want to keep as little money or crypto on the exchanges as possible. And I can't tell you this enough. Do not keep your money or your crypto on the exchanges. Typically what we will do is we will use these exchanges to trade. We will deposit our crypto into it, we will trade, and we will withdraw. We do not let our crypto sit on these exchanges. There is too much of a risk with anything, and their terms of service change all the time. HitBTC changed their terms of service in 2019. What they didn't announce was that usually when you change your terms of service, you send out an email and you notify your existing customers of that change of terms of service, and they failed to do so. So a lot of people who had accounts open with HitBTC and were using them because there was no KYC, now all of a sudden had to KYC, and if they wanted their money back. So back in 2018, I lost some of our 2FAs on our accounts, and I couldn't access them anymore. Somehow it got deleted. I wasn't using LastPass Authenticator, which I do recommend and I use now. I love LastPass Authenticator. Whatever you do, don't use Google Authenticator. It is not safe. It doesn't back your 2FAs up, and whereas LastPass does. So if you're looking for a 2FA authenticator, that is the one that I would recommend. But I wasn't using LastPass at the time, so I lost a couple of them. I was able to go back to every other exchange that we were using and get in touch with customer service, and they helped me delete or remove my 2FA on my account so that I could reset it. Did I have to verify that it was me and not somebody else trying to remove the 2FA on my account? Yes, of course I did. But all of the things that they had asked for was reasonable, and I was able to provide the information for them, and they were able to remove the 2FA so that I could log into my account and reset the 2FA on a safer authenticator. HitBTC, now, they were not able to reset or remove my 2FA account. I still, as of today, do not have access to that account. I will probably never have access to that account. I got in touch with them back in 2018 and had a string of emails with them. I got in touch with them in 2019 and just thought I would try again. And again, I had the same issues with them. And so if I were to share a little bit of that history, this is it. So I don't have the emails from 2018. It was with a different email address that I no longer have. But I followed up again with them. This was like June 2019. So I'd had a lot of conversation back and forth with HitBTC. And this was my original email that I sent to them. I've never been able to log into my account in over a year now since I lost my 2FA. I did provide your support with all the details I had at the time. I know support wanted more details of hashes, which I simply don't have. I have many wallets and don't remember which wallet exchange I used to fund my HitBTC account. I would need to know my HitBTC wallet address that I used to fund and the date. These two things I don't have access to. I think you'll notice that no one has logged into this account in the time frame I've said I've lost my 2FA, which should be obvious that I'm the owner, plus the details I provided of transactions that have been made in the account. So I'd actually had provided them with a lot of information already. I know there were questions of which coins are in your account currently and what are the amounts. I knew which coins were in the account. I didn't have the exact amounts. I knew roughly the kind of amounts that were in there. It was a very small little, thank goodness, because we don't keep much money or crypto on the exchanges. It was nothing that I was going to get really worried about. Plus, they weren't bigger tokens like Bitcoin or Ethereum. They were other tokens. So I wasn't too worried about it. I just really wanted access to the account, and I was a little perturbed that I was having so much trouble with HitBTC. So they came back to me and they said, since your previous request was closed due to inactivity, we'll need you to resend all of your documents and information. Let's go step by step. In order to disable your 2FA, please provide us with a clear close-up photo of both sides of your document. Scanned images are not accepted. To verify you're the owner of the account, proceed with your request. It is required to provide current information in full. So I'd already provided them 2FA, like my passport before, and they wanted me to provide it again because of a delay in time frame. So I included another copy of my passport, and please let me know. Thanks for the provided information regarding the transaction hash. For security reasons, we can't disclose any information regarding our traders' accounts. Could you provide us with the creation date of your account? Now, this was an account that we set up back in, I believe it was 2017, it could have been. And I'm not going to remember the exact date that I used to open the account. I mean, I've never had any exchange ask me for that information. Right, so here I actually say that I believe I created the account around December 26, 2017. Like, I don't know the date. I literally don't know. How would I know? I'd have to know what cryptocurrency I actually deposited into the account, from where, which wallet. It could have been another exchange. I don't know. So here was an email that they had sent for me after I had given them my passport. Now they wanted me to answer these questions. What coins you sold, bought recently? Please specify amount, the coin, and the date of the last couple of orders. Really? I mean, this was an account that I'd already told them that I didn't have access to for over a year. I'm not going to remember like all of this. Now, I remembered the coins that were in that account, but I definitely don't even remember the last couple of orders. In fact, I rarely used this exchange. There was probably one order. I don't even know if there was an order. There was probably one deposit and maybe two orders. And then I had a withdrawal, and I was just actually trying to log into this account again to use it for maybe another future trade to deposit more coins. But I did not have access to the trades that I had done. So when did you sign up for this HitBTC account? Tell us the exact date. So for me telling them that it was around December 26, 2017, that obviously was a wrong answer, or not the answer that they were looking for. They want the exact date. What's my current balance? Which cryptocurrencies are you holding on to in your account, and in which amounts? I mean, this is excessive. I never had the other exchanges that I lost my 2FA for ask me these types of questions. So on July 29th, 2 days later, I replied to their email and tried to answer their questions to the best of my ability. And I told them that I purchased a certain coin on an exact date, January 23rd, 2018, just validating that I am the owner of this account and I am aware of a certain transaction that was made on this account. And then currently the account should be holding some smaller token coins, and I told them I don't remember the amounts. I provided some extra information and I told them that I haven't logged into this account anytime after March the 20th, 2018, which was the date that I lost some of our 2FAs on our accounts. I again told them that I believed that the account was created around December 26, 2017. And then I provided some extra information again, letting them know about a couple of deposits that may have happened on the account around a certain date, just trying to appease them and show them that I'm trying my hardest to provide them information to validate that I am the actual owner on the account. I hope this is all the information you need to sufficiently have you believe I am the owner of this account. And it turned out it wasn't enough because they actually never replied to me again. And on August the 23rd, I asked if they were going to reply or follow up to my email. So from August 23rd, they actually never replied to this email either. So I actually followed up with them again on September the 19th. And I said, I'm still dealing with this issue. I've received a response from Hugo asking some questions and for a passport, which I did send on July 29th with no reply. Here are the answers to questions he asked me. What else do you need to reset 2FA on my account? So I answered all of the questions that to the best of my ability, but obviously these weren't the answers that they were looking for. I never did hear back from them again. They never replied. This was me replying to an earlier email from August the 4th, but I never did get another reply from HitBTC, and that was the end of my communication with them. So these are the issues that we've had with HitBTC. Again, we are not the only people who have had these issues. There is a slew of other people in the world that have had these issues with HitBTC. You just never know what can happen and what you're going to lose the information on your account to be able to access it. And God forbid you actually need their customer support one day and you've got a large sum of cryptocurrency or funds on your account that you want to access. Just know that you may not be able to access it, and they will take any opportunity, it seems, to provide insane amounts of types of questions to ask you that you do not have the answer for, that a lot of people wouldn't know the answer to these questions. They seem to be over and above what is called for to verify that you are who you are. I mean, the fact is they know the last time somebody has logged into this account. They have that data. They know very well that nobody has logged into my account since 2018 when I lost that 2FA, yet they're still making me jump through hoops to remove the 2FA on my account where I didn't have any issues with any other cryptocurrency exchange. So if you do use this cryptocurrency exchange, please, please, please do not keep any funds whatsoever on this exchange. Do your trading and withdraw it as quickly as possible. And make sure your withdrawal limit is below that KYC limit if you do not have a verified account. So a lot of this is common sense anyways. I mean, you want to have a authenticator that you can trust and that has actually backed up your keys. I also keep a written copy on a piece of paper just in case. I've learned my lesson, so I've got multiple copies now. Never keep a large amount of cryptocurrency on any exchange. Just deposit, trade, and withdraw as quickly as possible to your own wallet that you own, maintain, and control. And these are just a couple of the tips that we can share that you can learn from our mistakes to keep your cryptocurrency safe. So with that being said, if you like this type of content, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel so you can receive more tips and hear about more mistakes we've made in the past so that you can learn from them. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below. I hope you're having a great week and we're loving the crypto life.